Hi everyone, my name is Jan-David Soutar. I am a writer and director out of Los Angeles, and I've recently realized that I have never put any of my work ever on YouTube. And as I was going through all of my old projects and shorts and things, I realized that like putting them up to YouTube without any context kind of felt like off. It just felt like, what is this doing? So what I'm doing is I will be putting up the original uncut versions of those original projects onto YouTube for the very first time, haha. And I will also be watching them, and I will give you an actual commentary of what went on behind the scenes, how it was done, what I remember from the production. I've been an actor for 20 years, actually almost coming up on 25 now, crazy enough. A lot of my experience came from that, but I turned to filmmaking 11, 12 years ago. It's really interesting to kind of go back and watch some of these projects. That some of them were, class projects. Some of them were like really dedicated stories that I felt that I really wanted to tell. Some of them goes back as far as 11 years. This is the very first project that I ever directed, wrote, produced, anything. So this was a fan film because it was made for the TV show Banshee. I also was using it to try and get myself noticed by the casting directors of the show Banshee. I loved the show very much. And, haha, spoiler, I actually wound up on the show. Maybe because of this, I don't know, but I actually did get a chance to act in the show in season 4. I think the episode is called Little Late to Grow a Pair, and I play a BDSM guy in the show. Hilarious. So I completed my 6 degrees of Anthony Starr. And so I wrote this and I cast myself, one of my best friends, Gavin, my then girlfriend and now wife, Megan Rippey. Her character's name is Tabitha. I think my character's name was Randall, and Gavin was playing a character named Deputy Lewis. So let's go ahead and see how this goes down. Yeah, so this outside part right there was just a stock photo. This overhead shot that we got from whenever she's hitting it downwards, that is actually from a loft that was my old bedroom above. This is my old apartment. I always loved looking down from that height, and so I just really wanted to capture that on camera for this. It's such a fun, establishing location. It also really masked her punching Gavin, her being Megan, but she's like pounding, and like she was really going for it too. I really loved it from that high angle. We did Gavin's bloody makeup. And so the effect here too, like you'll notice that the effect kind of like goes in and out and kind of like jumbles, like you're pushing in. It's got a weird effect. That's actually canon to the show. The show did that. So I was really trying to show, I guess the editors too, that like, I know what this show's about. I know how you guys do things. I'm smart. But here it is. Should have thought about it as an editing reel, I guess, because, it was like that. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so this crotch shot with the foot is hilarious to me. I love it so much. We were trying to figure out the way to make it look great, and on hindsight, I probably would have done an overhead shot a bit. I don't love the lighting. The lighting's a little flat, makes everything look, kind of the same. So I would probably have shot this from a different angle. Right, and so again, the foot shot. Got a chance to really play with a lot of audio in this too, because I had to basically create the crunchy sound, which we did Foley. We actually did Foley for this. I actually like broke some celery and stuff, and also used some sounds that I just collected over the years. To really kind of fill all that in. And the sound, by the way, sound design on this, the music rather, was totally like royalty-free thing. It was really like, let's make this as cheap as we can. My character says, I know that you know, but we cut away from him not speaking, and that throws a lot of the audience off, but that is also canon to the show. If you watch the show, they will show a line continuing on, and they'll basically do a J cut to that person kind of like thinking what that is actually saying. It's a really interesting editing trick. I really kind of loved it because it almost feels psychedelic in nature. It was kind of a fun trick there. So whenever you see that happening in this, it's not a mistake. We're legitimately trying to copy the effect that the editing style of the TV show itself. I guess it was like, looking back on it, it's a little bit more sophisticated than I think I probably should have given myself credit for. I think that like it actually really kind of embodied what the show was. I love this shot. Her lips just so stand out against it. She's just so captivating to watch. I wish that we had done a little bit of a deeper focus. I would relight this knife totally, though it doesn't get lost. I mean, it looks a little eerie with like its David Lynchian kind of like greenish glow in the first shot. You know, if you see that, but I would relight it because it doesn't, it just blends right in. What was I doing? I'm so mad. Shot right here, Megan's eyes are into camera. I'm in the background. Everything about this, just absolutely great camera work from DP Tom Colley. Like really knowing how to capture her, but she just looks so good here. And then so this editing again, you know, kind of goes back and forth. So for that, going back and forth like that, again, canon to the show. And it really, I think, was fun because anybody who ever has met my wife knows that she is the most beautiful, wonder, angelic, wholesome creature that has ever existed, and that I'm basically Dr. Seuss. And so getting a chance to really play these two characters in like a really sadistic kind of Bonnie and Clyde love, this was at the very start of our relationship. So it was really kind of fun to kind of have that, I guess, bonding moment in a weird way. It was really fun to get a chance to play and to know that you could play off of your forever partner in a way. It was really educational and so many experiences for that. You know, have a partner that was so willing to go there with you on this too. Really, really great work. Okay, so the stabbing into the leg. All right, so this is probably one of my most fun things about this whole thing was the cooking up of how are we gonna do this shot. I knew I wanted it in a silhouette, right? As you see, I knew I wanted it in a silhouette, and I knew that I wanted her to see the knife go into his leg and that she would be able to pull it away and that knife still stay there. I knew that we needed that to sell it, right? The only thing I'd kick myself at looking at this edit now is that I would have her do that and stay there and then pull away and see it uninterrupted. So I think that my editor, Eric Casiopo, had to break it up for whatever reason, but I knew I wanted a silhouette here. I really wanted to see her stabbing it in and really feel the force of it. And so what we did was we took a very small watermelon that we got at like a supermarket, like Ralph's, and then I think we duct taped it to a paint stirrer. Right? It was like, or it was some sort of like really like thick ruler or something like that. So then we had Gavin just like this, right? Sit up, and we put the paint stirrer part like underneath of his leg. So whenever she stabbed his leg, from the silhouette, it looks like it just goes right in. Really, really great gag. I think it worked really well. And that knife, I still have that knife, actually. It's a great knife. It looks so menacing. It looks like something a villain would keep around. It doesn't look like a good guy knife, and so I really love her using it. It's a really fun knife to see the silhouette of. And Gavin's reaction here is so perfect. So yeah, we have this beautiful silhouette, Tabitha's face really enjoying every single moment of him, my shit-eating grin. And so she moves her hand away and it stays, and I love that effect. We cut back in. And so we're now over the shoulder in a tighter. And now we're doing some hand acting. I don't love my hand acting. I'm not a big fan of my hand acting in this. I think I'm doing too much. Nice close-up there. Great job to the DP, Tom Colley. Really, really great close-up. Hands the knife over to her. So we figured out along the way that we wanted to get to a shot where she was sitting across my legs and to stab him, right? And so we were like, all right, well, she's here, but she has to get here. And so we, you know, blocked it out so that she crossed over and sat on my leg. Great to work with a partner that you can feel physically intimate with and, you know, comfortable with. And so now the camera moves to here to capture this to stab. By the luck of it, because of, you know, we had gotten the silhouette this way already, whenever we went down to here to get her, like, just really gave her this really fun, sinister look, especially with the red lipstick. It was, you know, it really just great. And then seeing her little hand and light and the knife lit up by the sunlight, it was just, you know, really, really great, like, light design by Tom Colley. Really, really proud of that. I look like a crazy psychopath. Bam, she stabs. That's the end of it. Goes to the title of Banshee. Yeah, it's crazy looking back at this 11 years later. Really a testament. All of these great people whose names and faces I'm still in contact with today. So that was my very first film that I wrote, directed, and produced. And I want to say thank you guys for coming along with me. I really appreciate everybody that was on that film. Tom Colley, the DP, Matt Lucchesi, sound, Eric Casiopo on the edit. Obviously, my wife, Megan, who is filming this behind the camera right now, and she loves me, and I'm still trying to figure that one out. This would be dedicated to one of my very best friends, Gavin Peretti, who is no longer with us, but this was one of the many projects, and he and I got a chance to work with, and I think it's the first time I ever got a chance to direct him, and I really miss him. I really appreciate all the work that he put into this, and the work that he put into me over the years. So it was nice to see him and I together in a scene again. We're gonna wind up skipping ahead like 4 years, and that's the next time I did anything. So excited to see you on that journey. Thanks.